So the milestones keep pouring in for Eminem, and today we got a lot more linked to the Eminem show that continues to be a bundle of surprises after all these years. And before we dive into it today, we also got a lot more saved up for the latter part of the video, as we got to hear Joey Badass' thoughts on J. Cole apologizing to Kendrick Lamar after Cole dropped 7-minute drill that he ended up deleting. And we got more on Pusha T getting called out again, although this time it is not by Jim Jones, but rather Consequence, who's been going off about how Pusha T is a liar who used his former associate to market Lip's album. And starting with the latest milestone for Eminem, the Eminem show continues to show no signs of slowing down, as it recently topped 41 million units sold globally, according to Chartmaster's global estimates. And it gets even more insane when you take a look at the daily streams for the Eminem show on platforms like Spotify. And as recent as yesterday, you'll discover that the least streamed song is currently amassing over 10,000 streams on a daily basis, which is utterly insane for an album this old. For some context, Revival's third most streamed song on a daily basis is earning less daily streams compared to the least song on the Eminem show, and this is for an album that's already certified diamond in multiple major markets, the United States, Canada, New Zealand, and it is nearly double diamond in Australia at 19 times platinum, and the next is gonna be from Denmark, where it just got certified 9 times platinum. And moving on, after rappers saw the Clip's new album, Let God Sort Them Out, did first week over 100,000 copies sold in the United States, I would say it is time for Pusha T to become one of the high-value targets in hip-hop when it comes to, quote, clout chasing. And we already had Jim Jones before the album dropped, and now we got Consequence coming for his neck. And Consequence was recently on the DJ Drewski podcast on Hot 97, where he explained to fans worldwide about why he believes Pusha T is a liar due to the comments Pusha T made about how Ye is not a real man in one of the interviews leading up to the release of Let God Sort Him Out.
Today we need to address what's been going on in hip-hop. Today, I need to share with New York, with Hot 97, the home of hip-hop, and the rest of the world. I'm really high on integrity and the truth.
Right.
This summer, we didn't have a song of the summer.
I've been seeing the memes. Like, yeah, it's been hard.
And one of the reasons why we didn't have a song of the summer, because the soundbite of the summer was, I don't respect Kanye as a man.
That's how you move out here in this world. You know what I'm saying? If you're a man, that's how you
if you're a man.
Listen, if
you're a man.
Performed by, and I'm going to emphasize performed by Pusha T and his brother Malice. Now, what I have in my phone, I would like you to read to the world. What I have in my phone is a group chat between myself, Ye, and Pusha, and it was initiated right after the release of Donda. Yeah, I want you to read this to the world.
This says Ye 2020. So this is Ye.
There.
And Ye says, in the diss record to Drake, you still not 100% in the right with me, even though he should not have spoke on your wife. You not perfect either. The record still caused me mental harm. So that meant when you shot, you hit me and my family also. We have to protect my brain at all costs because I have the vision. It's accountability. You're not wrong, but you're not 100% right either. Then Pusha replies, yeah, I agree. I'm not perfect. I never learned how to turn the other cheek when disrespected. It's how I was raised. Martin Luther King wasn't respected in my house either. Hurting you or your family wasn't my intention. Protecting my family and the brand, that was the only mission. Sorry for any trauma caused by me. So Pusha did apologize to Ye for that.
So he apologized for basically dragging Kanye into the beef with Drake.
Right.
He actually said in his own words, sorry for any trauma I've caused you and your family.
Right.
So where I'm from, if you're willing to apologize to someone, that would mean that you respect them, right? We could agree on that, right?
Right.
So if you're running a whole rollout based on not respecting someone and you're a man, but you know you already apologized to this man, then are you being honest with your base? Are you being honest to the world? Is this a real feeling? Or is this contrived for marketing?
And he even dragged Malice into it due to the part of the text message where Pusha T revealed that they didn't respect MLK in his house.
And another thing I want to point out in the text is that he said Martin Luther King wasn't respected in his household. From everything that I've seen, isn't malice engulfed in the same scripture as Martin Luther King? And I've heard homies say he's the devil in this, so maybe you don't respect your brother either. Maybe it's whatever for fame. Maybe it's whatever to feel like you the top guy. But you know what makes you the top guy out here? A hit record.
Always. That always helps.
So I'm going to say this and then I'm going to leave. I'm outside. Anybody got anything to say to me, you can take your brother out the pulpit, find me in the streets. I'm from the same streets as the Supreme Team. I'm from the same streets as Rich and Alpo and AZ. You know, real drug dealers. Remember those? One.
And of course, since most hip-hop fans have been Team Pusha T for a long time now, this is going as you'd expect for the most part on social media.
Jump into it.
Sam, there's no...
Jump into this, you idiots! Jump into it.
And Consequences getting dragged for the most part. He just tried to connect a bunch of completely unrelated dots and then walked out as if he said some profound shit, facepalm and laughing emojis. And apart from the fact that many fans believe that sharing private text messages with the world is some quote soccer move, some have also expanded on the timeline. Consequence and his horse teeth being corny as F with old ass texts that have nothing to do with him. Go away. Any logical person can see why Push is no longer dealing with Ye anymore. And upon seeing how he was getting dragged by many fans on social media, Consequence decided to double down on X. Pusha T is a liar with no integrity. How do you tell the world that you don't respect Ye when you apologize to him for dragging him into the Drake beef? Clearly you stabbed that man in the back for clout, and for you slow MFers in the back, it don't matter how long ago the text is from, cause there's more. Much more. The gig and gimmick is up at Pusha T. A mouth can tell lies, but eyes can't. Ain't that right, Malice? I'm outside, and some are asking, who sent you? LOL. Why are you so randomly fired up about years-old text messages during which time someone can clearly change their mind about how they feel with someone, especially if they start cutting up? How old are you behaving this way? And now we got whole essays from users unloading on Consequence for the timing of this interview. You gotta be the most miserable dude ever. You said Pusha T did something for clout, but you had all this time to speak on the situation, yet you wait till Clips drop their album, and now you speak down on them while they're the hottest thing moving right now. Look at you chasing clout, trying to piggyback off of the Clips momentum. The sad truth is that you were Ye's wingman for so long, but we are never able to fly on your own. You don't get enough credit for being high on the list as one of the most underachieving rappers in history.
Damn.
You should have paid attention to the dudes you were on the same label with, because since you couldn't make any good music, you are now running around talking like you ain't got no common sense. You could have been a legend, but you failed at even being a sidekick. Pathetic. And now we wait to see what comes from this. Perhaps Pusha T would ignore this moving forward like he did with Jim Jones, who knows. But what are your thoughts? Is Consequence clout chasing, or do you believe he's got a point? And moving on, we got more on J. Cole's decision to apologize to Kendrick Lamar after he decided to delete his diss track aimed at Kendrick, a move that put his hardcore fans between a rock and a hard place back then, as they went to war on social media for him, defending him for hours, only for him to delete the diss track and apologize moments later. So he essentially left them with eggs on their faces. And in a recent interview, Joey Badass, who went to war with the West Coast that was instigated by his track The Ruler Is Back in January, Joey Badass was recently asked about his thoughts on J. Cole apologizing to Kendrick Lamar, and this was how it went.
How did you feel about J. Cole's apology during the whole rap battle?
This question.
Be honest.
I understood it. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely understood.
I am being honest.
It's like a head down.
Yeah, because you know what?
Head
It's like
down.
I don't want to, like, I'm really not looking for a moment of like a clickbait thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to be intentional about what I say, but I understood it. I just feel like, you know, I just feel like he should have never engaged in the first place.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, he should have just never engaged if it was gonna be about that. So, you know, and referencing back to the line that you had brought up, and that's why I said is like, you know, I won't do that. Like, I won't delete. Like, if I'm gonna say something, I ain't gonna take it back. I'm gonna take everything that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a conversation to be had, like, yo, I didn't mean it like that, like, it's my intention, but I'm still going to stand on what I said. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I think it was commendable that if he felt that he did something out of pocket and he was like, yo, that's not me, y'all. Like, forgive me. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, it takes a real man to do that, but I just feel like he should have never engaged.
Now, he pretty much said the PR version of what will.i.am said about the whole thing, that J. Cole shouldn't have started it in the first place if he had doubts, and some have expanded. I feel like this is every reasonable person's thoughts on it. It takes a lot of balls to recognize what Cole did and be willing to apologize, but that doesn't take away from the mistake. In a historic moment like this, that's never gonna just go away. Cole's still goated, though, and the truth is, until the fans get some form of redemption from J. Cole, he wouldn't be taken seriously whenever the conversation shifts to rappers battling, and now he's made it quite difficult for the people who ranked him above the likes of Kendrick Lamar before the battle started. Even the likes of Joe Budden couldn't hide their disappointment after a 7-minute drop, and even more after the apology hours later, and Drake fans are on J. Cole's neck in response to the snippet. No, Cole should have stayed 10 toes down, just like Drake did. He shouldn't be given the ability to back out when we would have never let Drake live it down if he did. Cole abandoned the homie. I can't respect that. Also, it is like, what does .ntd have on him that made him bow out? And feel free to share your theories in the comment section. I prefer to cover these stories rather than become ground zero for some new drama. And on a serious note, do you have the answers apart from the mental health angle on why J. Cole may have decided to back out? I'll be looking forward to your thoughts on all of these topics in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.